Welcome to day 15, where we'll be talking about how to use Excel text function to format numbers. What is the Excel text function? So the Excel text function converts a value to text in a specific number format. What we mean is that the Excel text function is a tool that allows you to convert a numeric value, right, say number or date, into a text string, thus enabling you to format the number in a specific way. All right. And that is what we are going to be exemplifying in this class. So the first thing we'll be doing is to format numbers with thousand separators. Let's say we impute our formula equals text. We have to impute our value, then tell it the format to use, okay? We just had a value, say, we can now say comma. So we need to enter the format at which this will be represented. Open parentheses. So we are going to open quote and use the hash, comma. Let's use the hash twice and 0. Okay. Close the quote and close our parentheses. Okay. If we hit enter now, we are going to have it this way. Okay. So this is our output. So although simply, you can as well have these values like this, say 145,0,004. So you can impute this formatting by just coming to numbers group here and click on comma. So you have this. So the difference between this and this is that this is a text, right? Because we use the text function, while this is an accounting data type, okay? Okay, so let's look at another example. Another example is if we want to format a number as currency, okay? So to format a number as currency, let's say we have this number here. Let's say we have this number here, right? So we'll say equals text. We want to format this number in A1 as currency. We'll say, comma. Let us put the formatting style, okay? So we'll say open quote, and we're using $sign, right? Then the hash, comma, 2 hash and 0, so that it gives us comma at every 100 points. Then we'll say 0.00 for 2 decimals, then close the quote, then close our parentheses and hit enter. So you can see what we have here now, right? So let us do the third example. And the third example will be converting or formatting numbers to percentage. Let's say we had 0.85 here, okay? So what we'll do now to format this to percentage, we can say equals to text. That is using the text function. We'll now click on the number I want to format, right? Say comma, okay? Now our format will now open our code. We are opening our code because the code represents the string, right? Whatever we have in the code represents the string, that is the text. So we'll say 0%, close the quotes and close our parentheses. If we do hit enter, you'll see that we have it as a percent, that is 85%. All right. The next we'll do is to format with leading zeros. Let's say you have zip codes or IDs, right? I'm going to give some basic kind of ID numbers. Let me say we have a column called IDs, and we had, say, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 6. Okay. So we can just highlight these two and click, hold, and drag to give us a difference like that, okay? We can basically have the difference of 3. So now, what if we wanted to format these? We wanted this kind of IDs like that have 000. If you see, if we put this in Excel right now, say 000 and hit enter, you see the 0 will disappear, right? So it's not possible to put the zeros. But we can format it into text or using the text function to make sure that we can get those zeros to stay. So let's call this column new ID, right? So we'll say equals text, the text function, open parentheses. Let us pick this as our value and say comma, open quote to impute the what? The format text. So we have 3 digits here, right? And we want to add 2 zeros. So that means in total, we need to have like, say, 5 digits, right? So put those 5 digits in zeros and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 zeros. Close the quote, close parentheses, and hit enter. So you can see now that we have these zeros staying. So I can just come here, double click, and autofill to have these new IDs. Okay. So the next one is to format as date, okay? And we are going to be using today's date, okay? So another way of getting the date, the specific date in Excel is to say equals, for instance. So let's do this example first. You say today, right? Today gives you or returns the current date, okay? So equals today, open and close parentheses and hit enter. It gives you the day. If you want to look for time, you say equals now, okay? Now returns the current date and time formatted as dates and time. So now open and close parentheses, hit enter. You are going to have the current date and time at which you entered that function. So let us see how we are going to use that today and now as text functions. I use today here, right? So let me use as text function here or with the text function here so that you see the difference, okay? So now we say equals text, open parentheses, the value will be today. Then we open and close parentheses, okay, to make the function complete. Then we'll say comma. So we want to impute the format now of the date. And we have day, the month, the year, right? So if we can say open quote, we want DD and for month, then we want Y for year, complete year. Close the quote, close parentheses, right? And hit enter. So we have different from what we had here. So you can as well change the format as you like, okay? You can always change this format as you like. So let's use another date format so that this will be clear, right? If we say equals text function, open our parentheses and our value will be today's date, right? Today, open and close parentheses, and now say comma, we'll open quotes, and we can basically determine our format to be, so we can say month or we can say year, right? We can do year / month / and day. Close our quote and close our parentheses and hit enter. So you see our date format, right? The text function helps us to format our date. So let's try to format the time, right? So we use the now to get this time. So we'll say equals text, open parentheses. Let's use now. That tells us the time and date, the current time and date. So we'll say comma, open our quote, and we want to use our time of format. We want to say hour, right? And minutes, okay? And we want to say AM / PM. So we close our quotes, close our parentheses. So here we are using this text format here because it allows us to format our numbers, right? Because when we use this now only, we got it based on the default format. But now we want this format now, the hour, the minute, then in AM or PM, okay? So hit enter. You can see now the current time, right? This was 24-hour time. And you see it came with a date. But now because of our format, right, it just selected the time only. And it could tell us the time in PM, right? And if we were in the morning hours, it will tell us in AM. let us look at the last one where we combine text with numbers. All right, so let's have test score here. Okay, test score 66, 68. Okay, then highlight both of them, then just drag them. Okay, all right, so I want to combine these numbers with a text. Okay, so all of these students had passed. Okay, I want to say equals text, open bracket. I'll pick this cell address as my value, say comma, open quote, and I will put the format. Okay, I'll say 0. I'll say 0. So close quote, close parenthesis, and use the and, right? That is shift 7, right? To get this and symbol. I will now open another quote and say student passed, okay? And then close the quote. Okay. So now, if I hit enter, it will combine this number and the text student passed. So if I autofill, you see that it will clearly combine the number and the text. So if you ever want to combine numbers and text, that is a great way to achieve that. Okay. So remember to subscribe to stay informed about our upcoming videos. Do well to share the link to as many people as possible to join the learning challenge.